guys, today I have some swatches for you, and today's swatches are from, does anybody recognize this little black box? This is from Ilnp, and I love their packaging. I unboxed this on my Instagram when I first got it, but I just figured I'd show you guys as well. I love that they put the shipping label on the bottom because it's like they know that people are on social media or something. I don't know. Anyways, but do you guys see their holographic packing tape right here? Like, it is, you can't read Ilnp unless you're in the right lighting. Like, it is so cool. Okay, so for their packaging, all you do is open up the box like this. It says Ilnp all over it. I really like that their packaging is custom to their polishes. It just is like a nice little flare onto it. And then it's wrapped in tissue paper. Mine had my packaging slip on top as well, but I've taken that off because it had my address on it. And then you just open it up. And here are the polishes. So I got their Fall Equinox collection, as well as two others from their other collection, and I can't remember what that one's called, but I have 8 polishes here total for you guys today. And so I'm just gonna jump into the swatches, and then I'll give you a roundup at the very end as to which one is my favorite and why. So let's get into it. So first up we have Off the Grid, and this is a Bitasium purple holographic nail polish. And I am just reading what Ilnp has on their description for this polish because, let's be honest, I don't make nail polish, so I don't know all the ingredients, and I honestly don't know what Bitasium means. It's in a stunning Bitasium purple base, and it has holographic microflakies, and it showcases a distinct contrast of yellow to gold sparkle. So let's go ahead and try this on the nail. Here is one coat, and oh my goodness, guys, I have a couple of Ilnp nail polishes already, so I wasn't worried about the formula, but this has a really good formula in it too. And you can really see, I hope you guys, the camera can pick up the shift that has, that yellow to gold shift that it talked about with those holographic microflakies. It's very, very stunning. And I mean, this is just one coat. It does need a second coat, so we will be doing that. Okay, so there is just one coat, and with all of these lights on in here to make sure you guys see the true color of the polish, I am just nervous in my monitor. I can't tell if you guys can see the shift or not, so I hope that you can. But it is just at the tip of my finger, still a little bit see-through, so we are just gonna let this dry and come back for another. Here is that second coat. I already did a second one on my pointer finger, and it is completely opaque in 2 coats. You guys, this is absolutely stunning. This color is amazing. I can only imagine what it does out in the sun. And I'm sorry, I am being a little bit sloppy. I'm rushing just a little bit. I have to go pick my daughter up from school in less than an hour, and I know it takes me a little bit longer to do these swatch videos. So, okay, so there is 2 coats of Ilnp's Off the Grid. Next up we have High Voltage. This is described as a jelly leaning formula. It allows the levels of depth to be built with each stroke, showcasing layers of precisely sprinkled holographic microflakies and an eye-catching pink shimmer. So, can you guys see the shift in that at all? Let's go ahead and apply it to the nail. I feel like sometimes that does a little bit better and you don't get the glare of the bottle. So here is one coat, and you can definitely see that jelly leaning formula in this one, whereas the last one was more opaque with that first stroke. You can tell that it was less of a jelly filled base. And I'm sorry if you guys see sparkles around my cuticles still when I do these back-to-back swatches for you guys. they just cling to my skin when I'm doing things like holographic nail polish or anything with any micro flakies in it at all. It just clings to my skin. So here is one coat. As you can tell, it is still pretty sheer, but even in this sheer coat, you can totally see that deep royal purple color with that pink shimmer and those holographic flakies in it as well. So I'm hoping that this will be 2 coats, but I'm thinking it might be 3, but we'll let this dry and we'll come back for a second. So here is that second coat. I'm not doing, I want to say this is the same thickness as my first layer of nail polish. Maybe if I did a little bit of a thicker coat, I would get, it would be opaque into for me, but I'm doing a little bit thinner. That, and in the description it said like the more you layer this, the more enchanting this polish is gonna be. So we're gonna layer it up as much as we can, let you guys see its true amazingness. But I will say after 2 coats, I am still seeing the light come through the tips of my fingernails a little bit. So if you have shorter nails, 2 coats will probably, maybe, possibly, depending on the thickness of your coats, be good for you. But I will be going back in for a 3rd. So here is 2 coats of high voltage. Okay, here is 3 coats. And I am just lightly floating over with like the same thickness as I was before. The 3rd coat I feel like is just kind of smoothing everything out a little bit. It's just kind of giving it the finishing touch. So with this polish, I think no matter what, for me, it is going to be a 3-coater. And even just adds a little bit more of depth to that color as well, where it is more of a jelly leaning base. 3 coats might be what it is best as and with for kind of everybody across the board. Okay, so there is 3 coats of INLP's high voltage. Next up we have Royalty. This is described as a deep claret holographic, and this is, it has a blend of holographic microflakies ranging in size, a lustrous gold microflaky, and a fiery red sparkle that can come through on this polish. Now, I don't know if you guys can see it, you can definitely see that gold microflaky in there, as well as that fiery red sparkle in there. Now, I think we're gonna have to apply it to see the shift correctly. So here is 1 coat of Royalty. Now this is going on a little bit sheer as well. I want to say that this is kind of suspended in a jelly base as well, but I could be wrong. The description online said nothing about it being in a jelly base like the previous one was, but just because it's so sheer, it makes me think that it is a jelly base. But this applies beautifully. The coats are nice and even. It's just applying really nicely. And I would say this first stroke is making it more come off as like a berry red. So there is 1 coat, and it's kind of hard to see all that is happening in this polish with that first coat just because, like I said, it is so sheer. But we are gonna let this dry and come back for a 2nd. All right, so here is that 2nd coat. It does build up really nicely on this 2nd coat. I'm gonna have to let it dry a little bit and paint a few more of my fingers to see if we're gonna need a 3rd. But that built up really, really nicely. Like really nicely. I was expecting it to be sheer like the other one after the 2nd coat. On my ring finger, I did accidentally put a little bit bigger coat, thicker coat than what I'm usually used to. And that one looks like it is completely done, like it doesn't need another coat. Okay, so there's 2 coats. These 2 got a little bit thicker of a 2nd coat than the pointer and the middle finger did. So these 2 are definitely gonna need a 3rd, and I'm just gonna do a 3rd on these to even them all out. Okay, so we're gonna go in for the 3rd. And it does, this 3rd layer does just deepen up this claret red color a little bit more. And I do find that I do like it better with the 3rd coat. So for me, I'll always use a 3rd coat on it. It just deepens it up a little bit more to a color that is just absolutely stunning. So here is 3 coats of Royalty. Next up we have INLP's Riddle Me This, and this is a deep blue jelly-based holographic shimmer with a vivid green center. So I don't know if you guys can see this shift on the camera. I'm gonna try and go slow so you guys can see it. But it shifts from green to blue to purple sparkle, and then it has holographic micro flakies in it. So here is 1 coat. And we were warned that this one is a jelly base, so this will probably take 3 coats to build up to its full potential. So here is 1 coat of Riddle Me This. So here is our 2nd coat of Riddle Me This. And it really is just like a really interesting color. It's not like a true green, like a St. Patrick's Day green. It's like a tealy blue green. It's just really interesting. I think it's perfect for fall and the Halloween season that's coming. That's partially why I bought this whole collection. It screamed fall and Halloween to me, and Halloween is my favorite holiday, so I was rather excited when I saw that these were coming out. So here is 2 coats of Riddle Me This. It still is a little bit sheer in places, like right here at the base of my nail, and then at the tip of this nail as well. So I am gonna go ahead and let this dry and then come back for a 3rd. And here is that 3rd and final coat. So here is 3 coats of Unfazed. I hope you guys can see that shimmering shift in this as well. It is really quite stunning, and looking at the polish in the bottle, you can see the green to blue to purple. And I can only imagine what this does in the sunshine. Next up we have Unfazed, and you guys, this one is very stunning in the bottle, and this is described as a blue to purple duochrome holographic nail polish. It has a duochrome base that flips from blue to purple, and even like touches hints of red and gold in certain lighting. In my lighting in the bottle, you can definitely see that on the edges. I hope you guys can see that on the screen. But then it also is topped with an array of holographic micro flakies, and that is what Unfazed is. And you guys, this just looks like a beautiful night sky in a bottle. I'm so excited to try this one for you. So here is 1 coat. And it is quite sheer on this 1st coat, but it applies nicely. It applies nice and evenly. I don't feel like it's wanting to drip down my nails or pool, and that's kind of how I feel all INLP nail polishes are. They have a really, really good formula, and they're really good quality. Okay, so there is 1 coat of Unfazed. It is still quite sheer, so you will definitely need 2, possibly 3. But we're gonna let this dry and then we will be back. Okay, so here is 2 coats of Unfazed. This is a little bit of a thicker coat than my 1st coat. And it is looking like it is going to be completely opaque in 2 coats for me. If you do thinner coats, you will probably need 3 with this one, but like I said, the 2nd coat I'm doing is a little bit thicker. Okay, so there is 2 coats of Unfazed. last but not least in the fall equinox collection anyways of this Swatch Fest is Underground. This is described as a deep black jelly holographic shimmering nail polish. And this has a deep black jelly base, so expect 2 to 3 coats with this one, possibly 4. And it has a holographic shimmer with a fierce orange center. So here is 1 coat of Underground. This one's formula is a little bit thinner than the others, but I think it just has to be where it's a black and they're trying to also pull the colors out of it. But it's still a good formula. I mean, it's not like it's a bad formula, it's just thinner than the previous ones that I was working with is. So here is 1 coat of Underground. We're gonna let this completely dry and then come back for a second. So here is that second coat. I'm still keeping my coats on this one pretty thin, just because it is a jelly. That means it is meant to have dimension to it. So it is going to take 3 coats for me to get this polish to be completely opaque, but that's all right. When you have a polish this beautiful, sometimes it's worth it to do a 3rd coat because the payoff is just that much better. So here is 2 coats of Underground. I hope you guys can see that orange shimmer in there. It's just like the perfect Halloween nail polish. Okay, so now we're gonna go in for our 3rd coat. And this is where this will be my 3rd and final coat. It does just deepen up that base a little bit more and make it so that, like, if you have longer nails, you can't see any light coming through your nail tip. It also makes it, that orange shimmer just stand out so much better. So here is 3 coats of Underground. So now we are moving into the INLP's Southwest Sunset collection, and I just have 2 of these, so I'm just going to include it in this swatch video. This first one that I have is Poised, and this is a cream shimmer jelly nail polish, and it is described as a sheer cream shimmer nail polish with an accented color shifting gold to bronze to green pigment that builds with every layer. This is my first time using this, and you guys see that janked up nail polish hair. That's just gonna be annoying. It's okay. Okay, so here is 1 coat of Poised, and they did say it was sheer, and I liked this one because it was sheer. I just thought it would be so beautiful for like family pictures. You can build it up a little bit and it's not so loud and in your face. It's kind of more of a classic color, and then you could even do like delicate stamping over top or something like that. So that's why I bought this one, because I could see all the possibilities turning in my head for it. So here is 1 coat of Poised. We're gonna let this dry, and then we're probably gonna come back in for 2, possibly 3, just to see how opaque we can get this polish to be. So here is coat number 2. And it does build up really nicely on this second coat. So here is 2 coats of Poised. I am gonna let this dry and come back for a 3rd just to see, like I said, how opaque we can get it, but then I will stop after the 3rd. All right, so here is my 3rd and final coat. I am doing just a little bit of a thicker coat on this one. Not too much because I don't want it to pool or run, but it's just a little bit thicker than those first 2. And it does look like it is becoming completely opaque for me with this 3rd coat, like in the sense that my nail line isn't so harsh, and just the light coming through the tip of my fingernail, things like that. So I mean, if you have short nails, 2 coats might be perfectly fine for you. But here is 3 coats of Poised. Okay, so here is Quicksand, and this is a refined warm taupe holographic, and it's a balance of orange, gold, and red with a color shifting shimmer from red to gold, and it has a subtle holographic sparkle throughout it. And you guys, my camera cut off and didn't film me putting on the first coat, but there is the first coat of this already down. It is dry, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put down my second coat. And I do like to put a thicker second coat down when I'm not working with jelly-based polishes, just because I find that it builds up the color a little bit quicker for me. And it also performs great. At least these polishes do. It's also helpful to note too that when I lay down my base is a very, very thin base. But here is 2 coats of Quicksand. It is still a little bit sheer in places, and so I am gonna add a third. I'm gonna let this dry and then add a third. Hey guys, so I feel bad, that last swatch that I was showing you, the Quicksand, my camera died. And so it ended up just being 2 coats, but I was actually gonna get on and say, so after this is fully dried, you don't need a third, which you really don't. So there's that on Quicksand. The swatch photo is of 2 coats as well. And I am gonna go through and just tell you guys my favorites. So from the Southwest Sunset collection, the 2 polishes I got was Poised and Quicksand. My favorite is Quicksand. Now it was, like, I originally looked at the Southwest collection for Poised, and so I find it funny that Quicksand ended up being my favorite. And then out of the Fall Equinox collection, my favorite was Royalty and High Voltage. I just liked the way High Voltage layered up on itself. It just looked so beautiful, and there was so many dimensions to it. And then Royalty was just a very beautiful red with just a beautiful deep crimson, like, it was just so beautiful. It was like the perfect deep beautiful royal red. So I love that they called this one Royalty. Just so you guys know, I did get these on pre-order, so they were a little bit cheaper, but they are available right now. So I will leave Ilnp's web address link down below in the description box. I picked these up because I figured the Fall Equinox collection I picked up because they were just like the perfect vampy but glitzy polishes for Halloween and for this fall season. And so I'm super glad I did that. But you guys, don't forget to thumbs up this video if you liked it, as well as don't forget to subscribe so you can see more of these videos up on your feed. And as always, guys, be polished, wear polish, and a little superstition never hurt. We'll catch you guys later.